Good evening. Just getting things set up for Santa Claus. It'll happen here in just a moment. Good evening. I'm just getting things set up for Santa Claus. Bear with me a few moments here. Howdy, howdy. Just getting things set up for Santa Claus. He'll be out in just a moment. He's finishing getting ready. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves. I don't really know what's going on. I'm going to go check on Santa here real quick. Yeah, give me just a moment. I know his hot chocolate's cooking and it's done. It smells amazing. All right. Okay, I'll be right back. Santa, what's going on back there? You need some help? Those reindeer are making a lot of noise out there. They must be excited. Christmas! Rudolph and daughter, you guys ate all your carrots tonight. You will get some hot chocolate as well. All right, it is time. Tonight I will be reading 2 stories. And I have a very special one at the end. It's a little bit longer, and it will be read to you. It's a recording. So we will all sit here and just enjoy that. The first one is a Christmas story. It is called Pete the Cat Saves Christmas. And we also have a very special book, a personal favorite of mine, the first book I ever read out loud, called Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Suess. So without further ado, let's get this party started. Without further ado, let's get this party started. It's called Pete the Cat Saves Christmas. It's a cute little story. You'll see here in a minute. All right. 'Twas the day before Christmas, and Santa was ill. In the cold winter wind, he had caught him a bad chill. Will Christmas be canceled? Will it come to that? Never, cried Santa. Let's call Pete the Cat. Santa asked Pete to deliver the toys to all the good girls and all the good boys. I'll do it, said Pete, and although I am small, at Christmas we will give, so I'll give it my all. Give it your all, give it your all. At Christmas we give it to give it your all. Road trip, cried Pete. Pete jumped in his minibus and started to roll. First stop, the North Pole. The reindeer were waiting to give Pete a tow, so he packed up the presents and told them to go. Then the minibus flew just like a movie. Pete the Cat cried, "This is totally groovy!" I can do it, said Pete, and though I am small, at Christmas we give, so I'll give it my all. Give it your all, give it your all. At Christmas we give, so give it your all. As the children were sleeping all snug in their beds, Pete and his reindeer appeared over their head. Straight down the chimney Pete flew in a dash, then back in his minibus quick as a flash. Each time he delivered a holiday gift, he crossed off a name written on Santa's list. Santa's list was so big and Pete felt so small, but at Christmas we give, so give it his all. Give it your all, give it your all. At Christmas we give, so give it your all. At the very last minute they reached the last house. Pete dashed in and out, just as quiet as a mouse. Then right at the break of the new Christmas day, Pete and his reindeer were flying away. Back at the North Pole, Santa was waiting. The elves and the townfolk were all celebrating. Thank you, Pete. This is cool. So small is cool. Santa was dressed in his red coat and hat and cried, "Hip, hip, hooray!" for our friend Pete the cat. Oh, that's a good story. I did it, said Pete, and although I am small, in the spirit of Christmas I gave it my all. Give it your all, give it your all. At Christmas we give, so give it your all. Merry Christmas, each and every one of you. Who's all in here tonight? Can I get a roll call? I see I have 4 viewers. That's great. I love to keep it small. Shall we move on to the next story? Or would you like to chat with Santa for a little bit? Just give me your name, and I'll tell you if you're on the naughty or nice list. Because that is something that only Santa knows. He's been watching you all year. So that one was called Pete the Cat Saves Christmas. The next one is not Christmas related, but it is a very special book. It's one of the first books that I ever read as a child. And I thought I would share it with you guys. So without further ado, on to the next one. It is called Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Suess. Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Suess. This might be a good time for some hot cocoa. Hi, Tristan. Thank you for joining us tonight. I am able to go around the world in a speed that nobody can see with the naked eye. It would take a very high powered telescope to be able to see me. And you know how you push fast forward on a, well, that's the wrong. Okay. You know how you can fast forward through a movie? That's a lot like Christmas night. It's crazy. But I've never been late. And Tristan, I'd also like to add, you are on the nice list. Ho, 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 ho. 2020 was difficult with the coronavirus. Uh, we stayed home a lot and we got on everybody's nerves. Trust me. Mrs. Claus, she knows. But it gave me more time to build the toys for all the good little boys and girls. So without further ado, let's read Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Suess. I am Sam. I am Sam. Sam, I am. That Sam I am, that Sam I am. I do not like that Sam I am. Do you like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. I do not like green eggs and ham. Would you like them here or there? I would not like them here or there. I would not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you like them in a house? Would you like them with a mouse? Boy, Sam is persistent. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you eat them in a box? Would you eat them with a fox? Not in a box, not with a fox, not in a house, not with a mouse. I would not eat them here or there. I would not eat them anywhere. I would not eat green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Would you, could you in a car? Eat them, here they are. I would not, could not in a car. You may like them, you will see. You may like them in a tree. I would not, could not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I do not like them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Tristan, I'll answer your question after the story. A train, a train, a train, a train. Could you, would you on a train? Not on a train, not in a tree, not in a car. Sam, let me be. I would not, could not in a box. I could not, would not with a fox. I will not eat them with a mouse. I will not eat them in a house. I will not eat them here or there. I will not eat them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. Say, in the dark? Here in the dark? Would you, could you in the dark? I would not, could not in the dark. Would you, could you in the rain? I would not, could not in the rain, not in the dark, not on a train, not in a car, not in a tree. I do not like them, Sam, you see. Not in a house, not in a box, not with a mouse, not with a fox. I will not eat them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. Ho, ho, ho. You do not like green eggs and ham? I do not like them, Sam I am. Could you, would you, with a goat? I would not, could not, with a goat. Would you, could you, on a boat? I could not, would not, on a boat. I will not, with a goat. I will not eat them in the rain. I will not eat them on a train. Not in the dark, not in a tree, not in a car. You let me be. I do not like them in a box. I do not like them with a fox. I will not eat them in a house. I do not like them with a mouse. I do not like them here or there. I do not like them anywhere. I do not like green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam I am. You do not like them, you say? Try them, and you may. Try them, and you may, I say. Sam, if you will let me be, I will try them. You will see. Say, I like green eggs and ham. I do. I like them, Sam I am, and I would eat them in a boat, and I would eat them with a goat. I would eat them in the rain, and in the dark, and on a train. I'd eat them in a car, and in a tree. They are so good, you see. So I will eat them in a box, and I will eat them with a fox, and I will eat them in a house, and I will eat them with a mouse, and I will eat them here or there. Say, I will eat them anywhere. I do like green eggs and ham. Thank you, Sam I am. Oh, ho, ho. That was a good one. Oh, my goodness. All right, so that completes the first two stories. Tristan, are you still in here? Just give me a yes if you are. If not, I don't want to answer the question. All right, Tristan, thanks for sticking around. So, your question is, how old am I? You are 11. What a precious year to be at 11. You will now be out of all your single digits and you're into double digits for probably the rest of your life, unless you get to 100. And then you'll have 3 digits. So, how old am I? Let me take a look. Oh, I've had a lot of Christmases. Goodness gracious. I don't know. Ho, ho, ho. I'm sorry. I just don't know how old I am. Do you have any other questions as I sip on my hot cocoa? Okay. This last video or story is another very special Christmas story. Unfortunately, I won't be reading it. I will be playing a recording of it. And it is called The Polar Express. So without further ado, let's open our ears and listen to
The Polar Express. Written and illustrated by Chris Van Allsburg.
That is why you are on the nice list. You are great. Your parents are so lucky to have you.
On Christmas Eve, many years ago, I lay quietly on my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I was listening for a sound a friend had told me I'd never hear. The ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. There is no Santa, my friend had insisted. But I knew he was wrong. Late that night, I did hear sounds, though not of ringing bells. From outside came the sounds of hissing steam and squeaking metal. I looked through my window and saw a train standing perfectly still in front of my house. It was wrapped in an apron of steam. Snowflakes fell lightly around it. A conductor stood at the open door of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his vest, then looked up at my window. I put on my slippers and robe. I tiptoed downstairs and out the door. All aboard, the conductor cried out. I ran up to him. Well, he said, are you coming? Where? I asked. Why, to the North Pole, of course, was his answer. This is the Polar Express. I took his outstretched hand, and he pulled me aboard. The train was filled with other children, all in their pajamas and nightgowns. We sang Christmas carols and ate candies with nougat centers as white as snow. We drank hot cocoa as thick and rich as melted chocolate bars. Outside, the lights of towns and villages flickered in the distance as the Polar Express raced northward. Soon, there were no more lights to be seen. We traveled through cold, dark forests, where lean wolves roamed, and white-tailed rabbits hid from our train as it thundered through the quiet wilderness. We climbed mountains so high it seemed as if we would scrape the moon. But the Polar Express never slowed down. Faster and faster we ran along, rolling over peaks and through valleys like a car on a roller coaster. The mountains turned into hills, the hills to snow-covered plains. We crossed a barren desert of ice, the great polar ice cap. Lights appeared in the distance. They looked like the lights of a strange ocean liner sailing on a frozen sea. There, said the conductor, is the North Pole. Was a huge city standing alone at the top of the world, filled with factories where every Christmas toy was made. At first, we saw no elves. They are gathering at the center of the city, the conductor told us. That is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas. Who receives the first gift? We all asked. The conductor answered, he will choose one of you. Look, shouted one of the children, the elves. Outside, we saw hundreds of elves. As our train drew closer to the center of the North Pole, we slowed to a crawl. So crowded were the streets with Santa's helpers. When the Polar Express could go no farther, we stopped. And the conductor led us outside. We pressed through the crowd to the edge of a large open circle. In front of us stood Santa's sleigh. The reindeer were excited. They pranced and paced, ringing the silver sleigh bells that hung from their harnesses. It was a magical sound, like nothing I'd ever heard. Across the circle, the elves moved apart, and Santa Claus appeared. The elves cheered wildly. He marched over to us and, pointing to me, said, "Let's have this fellow here." He jumped into his sleigh. The conductor handed me up. I sat on Santa's knee and he asked, "Now, what would you like for Christmas?" I knew that I could have any gift I could imagine. But the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled. Then he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from a reindeer's harness. The elf tossed it up to Santa. He stood, holding the bell high above him, and called out, "The first gift of Christmas."
Ho, ho, ho.
The clock struck midnight as the elves roared their approval. Santa handed the bell to me, and I put it in my bathrobe pocket. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeers' names and cracked his whip.
Dancer, Prancer, on, Vixen, Cornet.
His team charged forward and climbed into the air. Santa circled once above us, then disappeared in the cold, dark polar sky. As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked to see the bell. I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I had lost the silver bell from Santa Claus's sleigh. "Let's hurry outside and look for it," one of the children said. But the train gave a sudden lurch and started moving. We were on our way home. It broke my heart to lose the bell.
Wait.
When the train reached my house, I sadly left the other children. I stood at my doorway and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. "What?" I yelled out. He cupped his hands around his mouth.
Merry Christmas,
he shouted. The Polar Express let out a loud blast from its whistle and sped away. On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I opened our presents. When it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found one last small box behind the tree. It had my name on it. Inside was the silver bell. There was a note. "Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Signed, Mr. C."
Ho, ho,
I shook
ho.
the bell. It made the most beautiful sound my sister and I had ever heard. But my mother said, "Oh, That's too bad. Yes, said my father, it's broken. When I'd shaken the bell, my parents had not heard a sound. At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell. But as years passed, it fell silent for all of them. Even Sarah found one Christmas that she could no longer hear its sweet sound. Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me, as it does for all who truly believe.
What a great story. One of my favorites. That's what I always try to do here, is share my favorites with you. Tristan, you asked me a question, and I know you're 11, darling. What made you give presents to the world? What's your inspiration? Is it Jesus because he was born on Christmas? You know, Tristan, I think the best answer to that question would be to read the Bible, read the chapter of Jesus' birth, and that'll answer a lot of your questions. And then, yes, I tied off of that. There was wise men that brought stuff for Jesus that he needed as a newborn. And I try to spread joy and happiness throughout the world by giving each and every one of you what you ask for. And I watch you all year round. This is not a part-time job. I don't go to Hawaii in the summer. I'm preparing. And oh, Mrs. Claus makes the best sugar cookies. And so yeah, if you're able to read the Bible, do so. If not, maybe your parents can read you that chapter. And if not, wait till you get older. It'll make a lot more sense then. So, sorry about that. It appears Josh the elf is having some issues in the toy shop. It's been great chatting with you. I'd like to remind you guys that I will be here every Friday and Saturday. Yes, I will be back again tomorrow night with a couple new stories, maybe 3. I'm kind of working on a deal where I may even try to figure out how to play a movie for you guys and just sit here and watch it with you. Mrs. Claus is in the kitchen. Just before I came on the air, we're on the line. She was making hot cocoa for all the elves and myself, because when I do story time after dinner, I love my hot chocolate. So, I don't know what stories I'll read tomorrow. I will send out an alert as a reminder. I will also send out a event right after I get done with this live. Make sure that you subscribe to Ace Media Group so you will get those alerts. I say subscribe, but actually I mean follow. You can also follow the Ace Media Group informative page, where you'll see a lot of the happenings around this area, which is Yavapai County in Arizona. We are up in the high country area, so it doesn't get real hot here. I also post major news events. If your parents and you are interested, I will write a personal letter to you. All that information is on Ace Media Group on Facebook. If you'd like to have a one-on-one video chat with me, we can arrange that as well. Again, that information is on Ace Media Group. I also have a YouTube channel, Ace Media Groups, on YouTube. You can find the link on my Facebook page. And like I said, I will be back tomorrow. If you have any suggestions on stories that I haven't already read, go ahead and send me a message through the Ace Media Group page, and I'll see what I can do. Like I said, I'm kind of thinking of a way that I can play a movie for you guys and also watch it with you, so that would be great. Let's see, what else? Do you have any questions for me, Tristan? Thank you for sticking around through this whole wonderful time we had. It was like a party for me. All my live events stay on my Ace Media Group, and I also put them on YouTube as well. The Ace Media Group's on YouTube. It's groups with an S, but like I said, you can find the link on the page on Facebook. Thank you, Tristan. I most certainly will have a great Christmas. It's been not so great of a year, and I completely understand, but I am going to rock Christmas. You just wait and see. So, Mrs. Claus has some fresh baked sugar cookies for me. I can smell them. The reindeer are all smiling and happy. Oh, Rudolph wanted me to also mention that he loves to have the tip of the carrot, the fat end of the carrot, where the green stuff comes out. That's his favorite part. So, if you can leave that outside while I'm down in your house, you can have a little snack. You got my permission. With that, I'm going to say, ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! Thank you for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow night. Bye-bye.